I was born and raised in an Orthodox family. Unaccustomed to the bigotry and hatred in the world. But something happened. I went into the Army March the 11th. And by the end of March, I was in Camp Polk, Louisiana. This was only about 80 miles from New Orleans. Then came April, and a rabbi in New Orleans thought it would be a nice gesture to bring some matzahs for the Jewish soldiers. I walked into the mess hall one morning, and on the table in front of me was a box of matzah. Across from me sat 6'4" Claude Bridges, redneck from Tennessee. One swoop of his right hand, and the box of matzahs was on the floor. And in his combat boots, he trampled that box of matzahs almost to dust. And he said to me, as a soldier, when you're in the Army, you eat the same shit that I eat. And that bothered me terribly because I had never, ever experienced anything like that. We lived in a town that was half Gentile, half Jewish. Everyone was friendly and neighborly. During the war in Holland, on a rainy night, we stopped for the night, the end of a battle. And in the Army, in war, you don't sleep in the tank because that's the best target. You sleep near it. So we slept in our bedrolls 20 or 30 feet away from the tank. About 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a blood-curdling scream. Got up and I ran to it, and there was Claude Bridges in his bedroll, about 40 feet away, hysterical. And he kept yelling he was bitten by a rattlesnake. Pulled him out of his bedroll, and the blood was gushing from his left thigh. He had been hit by a stray bullet. Put a tourniquet on it, got him back to the first aid station. After the war, when we had our reunions, it was about the 5th or 6th reunion in Memphis, Tennessee. And I said, Claude, tell me something. Why did you do what you did in Camp Oak when you pushed that box of matzah onto the ground? Did you come from a town where Jews had offended you or done something? There wasn't a Jew for miles around. Then why? Because my father told me that the Jews are the scum of the earth, and that at any opportunity we should make life miserable. End of the story. Went to his children's weddings, came to my weddings. We became the closest friends after the war. Claude passed away 2 years ago, and I went to his funeral in Tennessee. When we got to Germany, or even France, we had no idea what was happening with the Jews. We're busy fighting the war. Even when we found those 2 boys in the barn, it just didn't dawn on me why they were there. When I went back to Europe after the war, we've been back 24 times. In a lot of the towns, we found the remains of a synagogue burnt to the ground. It took all those years for it to dawn on me that there were no people on this earth that were going to save or intercede with Hitler's rampage against the Jews. I continue today what I did when I was a young boy in Swan Lake. Go to temple, keep a kosher home, and do everything a Jew should do.